question. Yes, madam.
My name is Eunice Amanda Banson. Definitely. This is the third time I'm seeing you.
Your branch, please.
Oh, New York.
And then straight to the question.
New York, yes, New York. Thank you. I want to know why you are so quiet and Kennedy Agyapong is always on top of you. I just want to know. Good question.
Please, yeah. Let's keep it quiet so that you can get through the question and we can get through the rest of the program.
I want to ask this question by force. You have to tell us, why are you so mute and this man is always on top of you?
Thank you very much, Auntie Eunice. Thank you very much, Auntie Eunice. So the last question goes to the lady in blue. We are pressed for time. Pardon me and work with me. So please.
My name is Joseph Canada. Mr. President, I just want to ask you a question. What are we doing to bring back our propaganda team? Because it seems like you're not hearing anything from the NPP council. There's also the place, in addition to the lady about Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, and nobody seems to come out to say anything, to say the truth, for us to also understand what's happening on the ground. And also, when you become the president, is it possible to have a unique liaison between the diaspora and your office? Because I know very well, I can speak with evidence that the MPP, they have such person who is able to communicate here and Ghana, which makes things very easy. Is it possible to have one? I know Honorable Secretary is there, but we can also have a liaison who we can all go to when we need such information from Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the questions. So let me run you through the questions quickly. How are we going to reform the propaganda team? And then Eunice from NY, you were talking about the quiet about from Kennedy Agyapong. And then we have Elizabeth Agyapong speaking about how are you going to fix the damage that has been left and still focus on your goals. And then we have Patience from MA asking about the constitution and appointment. So over to you.
Well, let me take one on propaganda. In the first place, I mean, contrary to what you are observing, I think that under the present dispensation, our communication team has been very, very proactive. Yeah. And the challenge that we have had is that when this government came, they shut down most of our radio stations. And so Radio Road, which was one of the strongest mouthpiece of the party, for instance, had been down for so many years, I think more than 4 years. They've just come on board. And so in terms of the communication machinery, I think we've been very proud. Today, MPP are finding it very, very difficult even to defend their own policies and programs. But the challenge that we have had is how to link up that one with the outside world in terms of radio stations. You know, they dominated most of the radio stations. And so gradually with Radio Gold coming on board, Muntie coming on board, SYZ coming on board, and Ahoto and others all working. What we want you here to also do is to help us to get some of the linkages on the local radio stations. I, for instance, I own a radio station. All what I want is for somebody to say that there's a radio station in this state or this state that we want to take our program live. Then we'll be able to reach out to you. But most of them too are on YouTube now, YouTube TV and others. So as far as communication is concerned, I think we are not doing that bad. If you ask them to step up our game. I think that one is acceptable, and we'll see how best we can up the game. But once they are doing some very good work, we need to commend them, but to still let them to do more. The other one has to do with the issue of appointing a liaison between government and the diasporan community. International Relations Director is here, and I think he's hearing you loud and clear. As the lady said, when we form the next government January 2025, one of the tasks of our International Relations Director will be to link up with the presidency and to see how we can build strong liaison between the diaspora party and and we also have a voice because we don't have the talents amongst. Thank you. We got it.
Yeah, thank you very much. The one on the Constitution, and it's vesting a lot of power in the hands of the president. As you're aware, when President Mel came into office, it was one of his campaign promises. And so when he came into office, he started the process of a constitutional review. And so a constitutional review committee was set up, and they did a very thorough job. They looked at most of the clauses in the Constitution, and they recommended, review of some of them. Article 71, and I mean, many of those clauses were put up for review. Election of district chief executives and all that. Then we set up the Constitutional Implementation Committee. There were two different committees: the Review Committee and then the Constitutional Review Implementation Committee. And at the same time, the Attorney General came out with a white paper. It was blocked by our colleagues on the other side, and that's why we were not able to do it before we left office. But like I said, like you said, there's an imperative need for us to look at that Constitution again. It served us for 30 years, and there are some things that we need to tweak so that it becomes a living Constitution and is able to serve us for another 30 years. So it will be firmly on the agenda. Indeed, it's in our manifesto that we will complete the process of the Constitution, the review of the 1992 Constitution. It's one of our manifesto pledges that we have made, and so we're determined to carry it out. When you come, will you fix the damage, or you focus on your own program? You have to do both. I mean, if they've damaged your educational system, you cannot ignore it, you must fix it. Right now, there are so many problems with PSHs. They themselves say they want to review it. But one of the unfortunate things it's doing is leading to a drop in quality. Yeah. Today, some of those PSHs graduates are arriving in university, and one university lecturer, I don't know if you've been following, one of them in exercise preparation said, how can you get an A1 in mathematics and you can't even work percentages? Yeah, he was exasperated, And the problem is that we were trying to strengthen the foundation, because if you get the foundation right, then it makes it easy for the child to continue through the rest of school. And that's why we started to pump a lot of investment into the basic level, providing them with textbooks. It's under my administration that the children got all their 4 core textbooks. Every child in Ghana had his 4 core textbooks. This government has come and changed the curriculum, and yet they cannot give textbooks. They haven't printed textbooks since they changed the curriculum. So the children don't have textbooks to even learn the new curriculum, And what we call the, the one we give to the basic schools, we give them a certain subsidy, the capitation grant. The capitation grant is an arrears for a whole year. And so it means that no money has gone to the basic level, to the headmasters to even run the schools the way they should be run. And instead, we spent 7.7 billion cedis on secondary education alone. If you don't get the foundation right, then the material that comes to the secondary level, even though you're spending a lot of money there, it's too late. It won't make any change. And so what they've done is they've changed secondary school into a conveyor belt. When you and I were in school, if you didn't do well in a class, you were repeated. But because of the free SHS now, they tell the teachers to just send them fact sheet, whether it's defective or not, you let it go, let it go. They just go through like that. So if there are areas that need to be fixed, we'll fix them. We need to look at the healthcare system. We're building a lot of hospitals across the country. When they came, they abandoned them. So Kumahu, Abetifi, Fomena, Afari Military Hospital, all those hospitals have been abandoned. And so we need to come and take them and complete them. The community-day schools we're building the community-day schools because we knew free SHS was coming and that it was going to increase the number of children who were coming into school. And so we needed to build additional secondary schools. So we said, let's build 200 new secondary schools across. And there'll be community-day schools so that the children can easily go to school and back, so that we won't have pressure on the existing schools. When they came, abandoned the schools, some of them have been completed. They refused to put children in them. And so they started the free SHS. And of course, as we anticipated, the numbers increased. And so the children all come to school and they have nowhere to sleep. They have no dining halls. The lecture rooms are not enough, for the children and all that. And so on hindsight, they themselves saw the problem they had created. And that's why they came with the gold and green track, the double track. And so even though when we were in office, we stopped the shift system so that every child in basic school went to school at the same time. Already secondary school was not doing a shift system. Now they moved the shift system to the secondary schools. And so children go and come. And because of that, they don't get enough contact hours with their teachers. And so naturally, they are not as prepared as they should for the exams that they have to take. Yes, so we'll fix any damage. We will hold people accountable. If you've been corrupt, we'll hold you accountable. And it's important for Ghana.
Yes.
That MPP leave office so that the people of Ghana can hold them accountable.
Yes.
So we will do that. We'll hold them accountable. But at the same time, we'll be focused on our program and the things that we want to do for Ghanaians. And so we'll multitask. And I'm sure that we'll be able to.
All right. Thank you very much.
The last one.
Yes, we're going to have two.
There's the last one. I'm guided by one African proverb and one English proverb. I'll start with the English one, which says, "You don't wrestle with a pig."
Messi.
I mean, a pig, it doesn't mind rolling in mud. And so if you decide to wrestle with a pig, you also will go and roll in that mud. And I don't want to go into that mud. So that's the first one. And the second one, I always say, if you're bathing and some person who is not correct comes and takes your towel, and you don't jump out and run after him. And the final one is, if I want to mind those people, I'll spend all my time responding to them. I don't have that time.
Okay, thank you very much. We have time for just two questions, and I'm going to use my discretion to be biased. I apologize in advance for that. We will have up top, but please be very brief because we are out of time. That's the truth of the matter.
Thank you. My name is Mamas. One woman devolution act. My question goes to the Mr. Chairman. I mean, for the party. 2020, I think the party does something like adopt your constituency, and we did, and it was successful. I want to know, 2024, we all know Ghana economy is bad now. Everybody is crying. There's no money in the system. So what are the plans? What are the things that the party has put forward for to raise funds for 2024 election. Because 2024 is do or die.
Amen.
Do or die, need
Like that.
and there is a prophet which goes this way. We are saying a Brucia, and the Winia for because you can say a Brucia because a man member for yes, if you must
Thank you very much. And then we have someone who joined us all the way from Canada. And it would be a travesty of justice if we don't allow her to ask a question. So she's here. Madam, be very brief about it. We have absolutely run out of time. So please, very brief to the point. No, I think we can hear you. Let's go.